Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Good day, everyone. My name is Rabiu Hassan from the Department of Business Administration. I'm going to take you on Model 5, EEP 3201 and EEP 4201, Management of Innovation. Okay, Model 5, Management of Innovation. Managing innovation is very important, part of managing modern businesses. Why? Because in the age of digital transformation, organizations are faced with need to innovate more and more quickly than before. Digital transformation, have been, happening in almost all the industry. Like for example, in the hospital, e-commerce, and banking, training, and what have you. Almost all the industries are transforming, going online and using digital method to carry out their operations. Like for example, hospital, they have online booking for doctors and what have you. You can do virtually everything online except maybe seeing the doctor. And then e-commerce platform, are all over around, disrupting the traditional, distribution, system. And then we have, digital transformation in banking. Some years back, if you want to withdraw money or make transaction, you have to go to the banking hall. But now you can do everything at the comfort of your home. I can't remember the last time I go to bank. I only go to bank when my card expires, because I have all the platforms, to carry out my transaction, make payments, to buy whatever I want to buy anywhere in the world. And then training, most universities, colleges, are using online platform to reach out to their students. More especially now that we are facing pandemic issues, globally. Technology is helping, in digitizing the teaching method in most of the schools. Like for example, this lecture we are having right now, is part of it, because of digital transformation. Ordinarily, 5 years ago, nobody thought about this, but now here we are. So because of these kind of changes, organizations need to innovate more and innovate quickly. Why? Because there's competition in the market. If you fail to innovate, somebody can do and take over your business. A lot of things are happening in virtually almost all the industry. Disruption are happening. All those companies that fail to innovate, are being, resurfaced by very innovative companies. So innovation drives business growth and helps organizations stay ahead of their competitions. So if as a business person, you can deploy, you can use you can innovate effectively, you can be able to stay ahead of the competition. You understand? Because you can create new products and services, you can create or devise new method of production that will result in lower cost of production and faster. You understand? And technology is helping businesses to reduce cost and manage their time effectively. And even if a lot of cost, because there is a prediction some years to come, large number of employees are going to be replaced by machines, which are more effective, more accurate than people, which are bound to produce, let organization achieve maximum efficiency. So innovation management helps in generating new business models and create new products and services and technologies designed for the changing market. So a very innovative, organization, can be able to generate, new model of doing its business, a very cheaper and efficient model, and maybe as a result, new product and services can be able to be created. like what is happening in the financial institution industry in Nigeria. A lot of products and services are being created on a daily basis. Product and services that are making life easier for everyone and are making, the financial institution, to achieve maximum, profitability. So proper innovation management also boosts customer satisfaction and employee engagement. So if an organization will properly manage their innovation, in a very, very good and, better way, they can be able to, increase their customer satisfaction and employee engagement. Because there are a lot of, evolving ways, efficient way of doing things in the organization, which are giving rise to the ability of the organization to create more product and services, more enhanced product and services, which gives, maximum satisfaction to their customers. At the same time, engage their employee, doing, something new and different. So this module is designed to expose the student and explain vividly what innovation is all about. The module will also examine the essence of managing innovation and change the realization of organizational goals. So the model is going to be very important, as this is the most important aspect of, managing modern organization, managing innovation, because innovation, new technological, advancement and what have you, you can't do without them. Whether you like it or not, these things must happen in your business operating environment. So you have to be able to know how you can manage your innovation effectively to achieve maximum, success. So what is this innovation? We have a lot of definitions here. Innovation is the process of taking new ideas effectively and profitably through to satisfy customer. Taking new ideas effectively, it's a process of creating something new and then, making an effort to practically bring it into existence and take advantage of it. So it's a process of, taking new ideas effectively and profitably to satisfy customers. Another one says innovation is a successful exploration of new ideas. Exploration of new ideas. To use new ideas that, maybe no one have ever thought of. You know what ideas do to people. When you have an idea, you can be able to create new product, new services, new things out of it. So help organization to develop new product and services and better way of, satisfying their customers. Innovation is the process of creating commercial product from an invention. What happens in the laboratories, is called invention. Invention in most situations is being created by scientists, researchers, scholars, and what have you. But entrepreneurs are the ones who commercialize this kind of invention. So innovation is a process of, creating, new product, commercial product from an invention. Your ability to transform the new invention into commercially usable product in the market is called innovation. You might not be the person that invented the product, but being an entrepreneur, you can be able to commercialize it, to mass produce it and, bring it into the market, to refine it, mass produce it and bring it into the market. And you are in business, making a lot of money. So innovation is a means by which people exploit change as an opportunity. There are a lot of changes that are happening in virtually every angle, like technological changes. Technology is bringing, a lot of, opportunities for business to create new means, new product, new services, and what have you. So innovation is a means by which people exploit change as an opportunity. So those kind of changes that normally come with changes in technology, change in new government policies, change in customer awareness and what have you, are opening up an opportunity for organization to innovate, to create new product, to create new service, and to develop, to make their process better and better, so as to achieve, minimal cost of production, which will result in higher profitability. So sources of innovation. This innovation, according to Peter Drucker, Schumpeter, sorry, there are 7 sources of innovation. We have unexpected occurrences, incongruities, process need, change in the industry or market, demographic changes, change in perception, and new knowledge. According to this author, the first 3 are within, the business or the entrepreneur, environment. And these 4 are within his, operating industry. You understand? So we are going to see one after the other. So change, unexpected change. Unexpected change, the marketplace is number 1 area to look for opportunities. Is particular product or service greater or lesser demand than anticipated? Sometimes, things or opportunity do open up in the market unexpectedly. And in the process, it gives someone an opportunity to innovate, to create new product or service out of that. So this normally happens when you focus your attention on the market gap. Is there a product or service that is not there in the market, or is on the supply in the market? Or is there a need in the market that nobody is taking care of, so that you can create new product or service? So sometimes, this kind of unexpected occurrences, happen unexpectedly. And at times, as an entrepreneur, you need to make an, a kind of intentional, purposeful search for all those, opportunities, so that you can be able to create new product or service to satisfy this need or want in the marketplace. And then we have incongruities. Incongruities, is a kind of mismatch. When there is a mismatch between what you expect, what customers need, and what you think the customers need. So there's going to be a kind of a gap. So that normally gives an opportunity for somebody to venture into, to create something new and satisfy the need. For example, there are 2. There is Facebook and MySpace in the social media, arena. Before even though they started almost at the same time, but people, especially at this part of the world, are more aware of Facebook than MySpace. Why? Because Facebook, understood, their customers or their subscribers, need better than the MySpace. They target, young people. They provide a lot of, inbuilt app in their, in their social media, and a lot of things, a lot of, interactive, features that allow people to make maximum use of the social media platform, and did give it more advantage than the MySpace, because they understand their customers more than the MySpace. So these are what incongruities is trying to say. It's something that will allow you to create something, to modify your product, to make it better and better, to achieve market, opportunities. And then process need. The process need is about your way of doing business. Is your method of doing business, your production method or whatever, is it flawed? Is it having problem? Is there any challenge? Is there any problem, especially from your customer's point of view? In most situations, you can go extra mile to interview your customers, to survey them, to find out if there are some challenges. Or even you within your organization, you can be able to find out about all these challenges. Is there any hindrances that is stopping you from achieving maximum profit? Is there anything that is contributing to higher cost of production in your business? So process need. Process need is a process where you look at your process and see how you can modify it and make it better and better, so that it will be, it can be able to satisfy your customers effectively. It can be able to fetch you a lot of money in the industry. So this involves, identifying your company's process weak spot and correcting or redesigning them. This source of innovation comes within your existing capability and ways of doing business, not the market. In you, You understand? So you look at, for example, if you have a restaurant that is having, too much people, too people on the queue and what have you, crowded restaurant, what do? You hire more chef, you employ more people, or if possible, increase your restaurant space or create another restaurant nearby. You understand? So that you modify your process to make it better and serve your customer effectively. And then we have change in the industry or market. Change in the industry. Your industry and market are in continual, changing. Regulation change and some product line, expand while others, go extinct. So all this kind of a thing, open up a chance for somebody to innovate. Some products are becoming, outdated. Some are coming up new. So all these, are as a result of, this kind of a change in the industry. You understand? New regulations are popping up. Like, for example, because of the federal government, the regulation of the oil sector, a lot of private individual entrepreneurs are coming up, trying to establish their refineries in Nigeria because of the change in the industry. So because of this kind of changes, entrepreneurs can be able to spot the need for them to come in with their new product or service or modify product or service in the industry or market. And then we have demographic changes, changes in the population, in the income levels, in the human capital, education, age distribution, and what have you, are bringing a lot of changes, opportunities for business people to capitalize. Like, for example, change in education is changing people's rationality, it's changing people's perception, and this means, people going after qualitative, very efficient product and services. So all these kind of changes, are opening up chance for people to innovate, to create new products or services. And smart companies, are paying attention to this kind of changes. Example is this kind of changes can cause change in the consumers, in the consumer behavior and what have you. That will give a company chance to innovate. You understand? And then change in perception. Change in perception is another factor that allows someone to innovate, or is a source that gives entrepreneurs a chance to innovate. Because of such perception, a lot of people, are changing their, purchasing behavior and what have you. Like, for example, in some years back, you could be able to see a lot of people smoking anyhow, anywhere. But now you hardly see someone smoking. Why? Because people, perceive the effect of smoking cigarette. And what happened? The smoke, the tobacco industry, responded by creating, similar products in a very smart way, like e-cigarettes, like shisha, and all this kind of thing, are as a result of this kind of a perception. People are no longer taking tobacco, but these companies say, no, nobody can go out of business. We must find a way to continue, surviving. So they came up with a new product based on people's perception. You understand? Like, most female and, all people, they always want to look young. And, a lot of companies are responding to this by producing products that will help people to look younger and younger, especially in the cosmetics industry. We see changes in religion. Like, for example, Islam is increasing rapidly all over. And a lot of companies are responding to this kind of changes. You see a lot of halal restaurant, halal drink, halal food, halal this and that. These are happening because people are transforming. And the companies and organizations cannot afford to lose this large number of people. So they responded by providing a products that go along with these people, new perception, new changes, and what have you. And then lastly, we have new knowledge, from technology, from new discoveries and what have you, giving chance for people to create new products and services. Like, for example, Tesla have disrupted, automobile industry, even though there are a lot of other companies, but they disrupted the company. Now almost all companies are trying to, transform, to change their production, their products into electric vehicle and what have you. So a lot of, similar kind of change product are coming up, and a lot of things are happening. There is miracle drugs from the health, industry. A lot of things are coming from new knowledge, new discovery, and what have you. So all these are areas where an entrepreneur should focus his attention on, so that he can be able to spot a chance for him to innovate. So you don't look at a single source, you look at them all, so that you can be able to innovate from all angles. So a lot of things are happening from this angle, and this is all we can take on source of innovation. So as a rider, our innovativeness depends on our technological or knowledge exposure, but on our mental model. Even though there are a lot of companies, countries that got independence at the same time with Nigeria, like Malaysia, India, and all these countries. But if you look at the companies, in relation to this country, they have gone far ahead. You understand? Even though Nigeria have all the chance to be better than all of these countries, we have the resources, we have the human capital, and what have you, but still we are underdeveloped. We are developing. So it's based on this idea I'm trying to say. Your innovativeness, depends less on your technology or knowledge exposure, but on your mental model. It's all about attitudinal change. When your mindset is not about all this kind of thing, regardless of your resources, regardless of what your exposure, you cannot be able to bring about those changes. So it has to be based on your mental model. So this is because our unique construct system or mental framework exert pushing or pulling effect on all other ideas and experience we encounter. Because of this kind of mindset, regardless, no matter what you come across in your life, you cannot be able to make meaning out of it. You cannot be able to turn it into something. Our leaders travel, worldwide. They go places. They see a lot of things. They see how leaders are making things happening in their country, transforming their countries, but still nobody can do anything here. You understand? So therefore, creating innovative society is to a large degree a function of attitudinal change. So not only education, not only technology, we need to change our attitude to be able to innovate, to be able to see opportunity for innovation, to be able to innovate a lot of products and services and transform our country. So element of innovation, what are the things that need to be there for an innovation to occur? So first of all, there is need for a challenge. What is the problem? What are you trying to solve? What is it that is necessitating the need for the change, the challenge? So there must be a challenge. There must be something that you need to transform. You understand? If, for example, the market you are targeting, or you are residing, or you are operating, is occupied by a lot of competitors and other businesses, similar businesses. So what do? Maybe you start thinking about going online to reach out to market beyond where you are residing. You understand? That is a challenge. You're not making sales in the market. So what do? You create another market, or maybe you go to another market, or you go online, or you diversify your money, your business into something else, or you can even divest and maybe invest in another business. You understand? Challenge. Then customer focus. So the innovation, in most situations should be something that will add value to people. Because any product or service that adds value, that product or service is going to make sales, going to, get you money in the marketplace. So it must be something that is based on customer focus, that is, creating to add value to customers. And then creativity, generating and sharing ideas. It must be something out of creativity. Creativity in most situations is mental work. Is challenging yourself to come up with a new product or service with something new. While innovation is the ability to practically, actualize your creativity into practical outcomes, into a product or service which people can use. And then communication, you need to communicate your ideas, your new idea, new knowledge, and what have you, so that you can collaborate with other people, work together to create a very sophisticated or very effective product. And then you need to implement your ideas, you need to learn and share your new ideas, and then you need to build your innovation or whatever based on culture, values, good leadership, and awareness. So these are the elements of innovation. And then forms of innovation. Forms of innovation. Forms of innovation. You know, we have types of innovation, we have forms of innovation. You know, forms of innovation is going to talk about the form an innovation normally takes. The forms innovation normally takes. So process innovation. Process innovation is the innovation in your process of doing your business, of producing, of giving service and what have you. It's called process innovation. How can you modify your process to make it better and better, so that it will result in maximum satisfaction to your customers and lower cost to you, the producer. You understand? Process innovation. So including changes and improvement to methods, this contribute to increase in productivity, which lowers cost and help to increase demand. This can make process simpler, faster, more accurate, more reliable, less expensive, and more integrated. And then we have innovation in product and services. Innovation in product and services, that is your ability to create new product out of your existing products, or new service out of your existing services, is called innovation in product and services. Or your ability to remodel, to make your product, existing product, better and better. Like what happens to automobiles, like Toyota Corolla. Toyota Corolla over the years, the companies, was able to modify it from something very slow, very ugly, to something very sophisticated we have right now in the market. 2020 model Toyota Corolla, something very sophisticated. And that happened out of, continual, value incrementation. With each new model, yearly, a new feature is added. That's how they were able to make it better and better. Product innovation. This kind of innovation happens also in service. The way you deliver your service, like for example, Bayero University, gives service to students, teach students. And now Bayero University is trying to transform, to go online, to be able to help their students, learn from the comfort of their home. This can help, minimize a lot of things like congestion, like, the spaces and what have you. It can even more costly, more cheap to the student, because you don't have to transport yourself to school. You can stay at home and listen to and take your lectures. You understand? Because of innovation in service. And this innovation can either be incremental or radical. Incremental is the kind of innovation that you make, by gradually adding more value to your existing product to make it better and better. That is incremental innovation. And then we have, radical innovation. And radical innovation is a process where you stop doing what you are doing or producing and start producing something entirely different, something new product or service. This happens, especially when your existing product is no longer, gaining ground in the market. People are no longer buying your existing product, so you may decide to change, to start producing something that people will really need in the marketplace, or something that is more superior, that is better in terms of, satisfying your customers' needs and wants. And then we have product innovation in management. This kind of innovation, happens in the way, entrepreneurs, business people, the managers and what have you, manage business operation, you understand, and what have you. Innovation in management. A lot of things in technology is helping, entrepreneurs, to use and, easily and effectively manage their business affairs. almost every aspect of their business is being, assisted by technology, like recruitment, like managing finances, and what have you. You understand? There is a prediction in the future, the companies will not need the service of accountant because you will have all the softwares to help you, automate your financial transactions and what have you. So a lot of things are happening in this respect, innovation in management. And then types of innovation. Types of innovation. These are the different, kind of innovation we have in the world. Like we have breakthrough innovation. Breakthrough innovation is a kind of innovation that normally generate IP right, intellectual property right. Why? Because it in most situations, the starting point of that kind of innovation in that area. Like for example, prior to the innovation of the computer, there wasn't anything like computer, but somebody invented computer. That was a breakthrough innovation. Nobody had ever heard of anything like that, and somebody created it. That is a breakthrough innovation. So a good example of breakthrough innovations ideas are the internet, the automobile, the computer, the airplane, and what have you. And then we have technological innovation. Technological innovation are the kind of innovation that follows breakthrough innovation. Like, for example, when the first automobile was invented, then similar base products, were also created out of the first breakthrough innovation. So we call it technological innovations. Technological innovation offer advancement in the product or market area. Examples of technological innovation are voice and text messaging, the jet airplane, from the airplane, you were able to create jet airplane, helicopter, and all this, and then personal computer. From the computer they invented initially, they were able to create different kind of computers. PC, you have desktop, you have laptop, you have farm top, you have a lot of this kind of a thing. The flip watch for containing features and what have you. So technical innovation are kind of innovation that normally follows breakthrough innovation. And then we have ordinary innovation. Ordinary innovation, unlike breakthrough and technical innovation, the ordinary innovation is the one that occurs most frequently. This kind of innovation extended technological innovation into better product or service. This innovation usually comes from market-led or market-push innovation. These ordinary innovation are the kind of innovation we normally see every day in the kind of product and services we consume on a daily basis. The way they modify their product, the way they add more value, the way they change their product, like for example, what happens in the banking industry in Nigeria. They were able to transform their, transaction, their methods, and what have you, into something better and better. And still, there we are getting a lot of, products, financial based, products from this kind of innovation. So these are the type of innovation we are going to take. And then we have theories of innovation. Theories of innovation. We have the diffusion theory of innovation. Diffusion theory from the diffusion, something from the biology. If you can remember your biology, in your secondary school, there is a diffusion theory of something. I can't remember. Diffusion, is trying to explain how something, spread. You understand? So once innovation occurs, according to this theory, innovation may be spread from the innovator to other individual and groups. However, this process has been proposed that the life cycle of innovation can be described using S-curve or the diffusion curve. So according to this theory, once innovation happened in, like, for example, America, within very short possible time, it will reach all over. That is why when they discovered the cure to the COVID-19, before you know it, it was all over because of the diffusion theory of innovation. So once you innovate something, so far it is something that is that adds, real value. That thing will spread rapidly from the innovators, from the country where the product is innovated or is invented, to other countries in the world. And this process can be explained using this curve. if you look at from the beginning of this curve here, you see that this is where the innovation start. So this is where it started, growing, innovators, early adopters, people that adopted the technology, and then continue, growing up to here. And then we have decline. So this normally happens if the entrepreneurs or the inventors, did not, properly manage their innovation. If you refuse to manage your innovation, so it will eventually decline, die out. It will be replaced by a better, technology or innovation. And that's why we have it takes a kind of a product life cycle where you start, if you're unable to sustain it, then it dies out. You understand? And then we have disruptive innovation. Disruptive innovation. Innovation that challenge existing thinking and models for solving problems is called innovative and disruptive innovation. The kind of innovation that takes over an existing innovation is called disruptive innovation. An innovation that creates a new market by applying a different set of value, which ultimately and unexpectedly overtake an existing market, is called disruptive innovation. So according to the author of this theory, I think it's Schumpeter. Yeah, Schumpeter. Schumpeter, 1940, invented, came up with this theory. So according to him, disruptive innovation happens when a new product, replace an existing product in the marketplace because it is more sophisticated, it is more effective, it is more superior in terms of customer satisfaction and what have you. So a good example of disruptive innovation is Netflix. Netflix, was able to disrupt, video rental and video distribution industry twice. First with the video tape and distributed rental industry, where it disrupted, very big companies that were into video rental and what have you. And then they came up with their online streaming services. Something, quite similar from the existing practice, you understand? So they were able to disrupt the industry. Now you hardly see place for video rental. Even here, in our local, remote local government and what have you, villages, you hardly see video rental because people are using all this online, streaming or downloading our movies. And it also, disrupted, traditional media companies. A lot of, companies like Destiny, who owns, ESPN, Destiny channels, Time Warner Bros, who owns, CNN, HBO, Cinema Max and Fox, Netflix is being, disrupting their service. The focus of customer now is being shifted from the pay-per-view, TV subscription to an online satellite services to the online streaming services. You understand? And that is how Netflix was able to disrupt, this industry. So this is a good example of how disruptive technology or innovation happens in the marketplace. And this can be seen using this curve. If you look at this curve, all these, existing technology in the marketplace, most demanding use, high quality use, medium quality, low quality. But now you have something different, something more sophisticated, more superior, and more efficient, in the marketplace. Now replacing all these technologies in the marketplace. This is how it happens. So change and innovation. There is no way you can talk about innovation without talking about change, because change is what that normally gives rise to a chance for someone to innovate. When there's a change, you always make an effort to change the way you respond to it in a positive way. And that is in most situations an innovation. So change is defined as a transformation in pattern of organizational activity. What an organization is doing is using like maybe labor intensive. And then suddenly it changes to maybe capital intensive, using machines, technology, and what have you. It's a transformation. Or maybe if organization is having like 100 employees and now it has 50 employees because of a new way or modification to the organizational structure. It's a change. Maybe they foresee a chance for them to reduce costs by maybe laying off people to match maybe responsibility and maybe office and what have you, so that they will minimize costs and what have you. So change has also been defined as modification of those processes keeping a system behavior stable. So anything that stagnate an organization, an ability of an entrepreneur to modify it, to be able to allow the organization to progress is a change. Like an employee who is a kind of unproductive, an employee that is not contributing to the progress of the organization. If you replace that kind of information, you are modifying the system to make it better. In that situation, a change has happened because people are going to see the change, physically in terms of the results the organization is going to yield. And then change can be seen as an overhaul of both internal and external environment of an organization. Overhaul, like the way you do an overhaul to a car. When you do an overhaul, you make it better and better. You change all the old parts that are making the car, they're slowing down the car, to replace them with something new, better parts. The same thing with an organization. When you overhaul the organization, you change people position, you lay people, you employ new people, you introduce technology, you collaborate, you understand, and you diversify, you do a lot of things to transform your organization. And then no innovation without the readiness to change existing condition. So innovation in most situations, go along with the change. If you're not willing to change, you cannot be able to innovate. And then change alters, modifies, improve, replace, and transform things. That is the nature of change. Whenever you are trying to change, be ready to see physical changes in the organization. So factors responsible for change. What are the factors that normally open up a chance for a change to happen in the organization? We have economic factors such as business cycles, gross national products, trends, interest rate, money supply, inflation, unemployment, disposable income, energy availability, and cost. From economic perspective, factors angle, a change can happen. You understand? When the money supply, increases, it means, a lot of products and services in the marketplace. So organizations need to respond to that by producing more and more, products and services in the market, by modifying their products and services, by, creating, by rolling out different variety of products. Maybe if the organization is into maybe a necessity, organization can go into luxury-based product and what have you, because the money supply has changed. So also the inflation, the unemployment, and what have you. All these factors, economically, bring about change in the organization. And then we have change in technology, which is the most important. Imagine some technological devices such as thinking computers, robotics, computer engineering, miracle drugs, space communication, laser cloning, satellite network fiber, optics, electronic money transfer, etc., have altered the frequency operations of organization. Yes. Because of technical changes, all this kind of thing have changed the organization, carry out their activity. You understand? And then social or cultural causes. For instance, there are a lot of changes in the family structure, marital life, and self-dependence. Also, discrimination has emerged as far minority and majority groups. All these have called for changes in the different type of product or service offered by companies and strategies. Change in the cultural, sociocultural, also, open up, give rise to a lot of changes in the organization. Political and legal changes, factors such as monopolistic legislation, environmental protection law, taxation policy, foreign trade regulations, employment law, government stability, and so on. And then intense competition. Competition from, your business competitor, people in the same line of business with you. Fierce competition do exist among ventures or businesses that offer similar products or similar services. This normally cause causes a business to change its pattern of operation to survive the competition. Because you want to stay ahead, you want to respond to the fierce competition you are facing in your business environment, you need to change. You need to change the way you operate so that you can be able to go ahead with the competition in the marketplace. So this can also cause change in the organization. The organization may decide to modify its product to make it more qualitative, and this may result in changing the source of supply of raw materials, replacing all machines with the new ones, training and retraining the workers on how to operate the new machines and what have you. All this will cause a lot of changes to the organization. It may even entail, additional funding to the organization. Then resistance to change. Then an entrepreneur, needs to, understand, the reason why people, resist change whenever he tries to bring it into the organization. Because for someone to be able to manage his innovation, he has to be able to know what are the possible, factors that may cause resistance in the organization. So that when he tries to innovate, he'll try to, take these factors into consideration. You understand? So people inherently resist change due to uncertainty. Sometimes people resist change if they are not aware of the possible, outcomes of the change. You understand? Because change in most situations do come along with, some, side effects. Like, for example, organization that is trying to overhaul its organization or re-engineer its organization or transform may have some of its employees, lay off, you understand, or replace or transfer from one unit to another or from one branch to another across state or even countries. So all this kind of uncertainty, results in resistance to change, and then threat to social and economic status. When somebody, is enjoying a particular position or status, and perceives a likely, change in that economic status as a result of the change, that person may make an effort to resist the change. And poor communication. When you fail to communicate to your employees, to your business partners, and what have you, about the reason for the change, well ahead of time, that may cause a resistance from their part because they may not be aware of the reason for the change. And then lack of trust, and there is misunderstanding, trust, and what have you, it also cause resistance. Lack of, sophistication, knowledge, expertise, and what have you, may cause, change to have a problem. And then illiteracy, emotional attachment, or group resistance. At times, a group, especially a level union, may cause, resistance of a particular change in the organization. Like, for example, federal government, has been trying to enroll ASU members on IPPIS, but their labor union, their union, ASU, say no to the IPPS. And because of that, even though there might be some lecturers that, want to enroll onto the MPPS based on their personal reason, but they will not do that because their group say no to the IPPS. That is how group, resist change. So how do you manage the change? So managing resistance involves education and communication. Before you introduce change in the organization, you need to have a meeting with members of the organization, your managers, your employees, and try to discuss the reason why you want to bring about change. But maybe try to assure them that this change is not going to cause harm to anybody or affect them. But you want to do it, you want to bring it so that you overhaul the organization and make it better and better for everybody's benefits. So education and communication is very important, and then participation and involvement. Sometimes if you want to have a kind of a hitch-free, change or innovation in your organization, you need to involve the people that are likely going to be affected in the change. Involve them as partners and what have you, so that you wouldn't have issues when implementing the change. And then you may have negotiation and agreement, especially with the labor union, labor or group that resists the change. You sit down with them and negotiate based on, at times, I told me, change has economic consequences. Sometimes you may lose your job, you may even lose some significant part of your salary and what have you, or they may reduce your salary. So in that respect, a negotiation need to be carried out to agree on the time and what have you. And then timing of change. Change should be implemented at the very right time when people are ready for the change. And then there must be a very good leadership style to be able to convince people to embrace the change. And then there is, you may need to conduct what they call post-field analysis to weigh the advantage and disadvantage of the change, to find out if the change benefit is going to be more than the disadvantage or problem that it may likely cause. So that based on your analysis, you can be able to convince yourself or other people, that the change is needed, is inevitable in the organization. So avoiding constraint to innovation in Nigeria. So why, despite our, economic resources, human capital resources, and what have you, but innovation is very slow in this country. Businesses are not innovating, and a lot of things, are causing a lot of, problem to the country. Like, for example, now, everybody is relating the problem of, foreign exchange to the federal government, which is not their fault. It's Nigerian fault. Everybody is contributing to this. Why? Because you earn foreign exchange when you produce more goods and services and export them into other countries. That's how you receive foreign exchange. But when your import is higher than what you export, you are likely going to have a deficit foreign exchange. And that is what normally, inflates the foreign exchange. And that is why, the value of dollars and other foreign countries are higher than the value of Naira by far. Why? Because Nigerians are not producing so many things that that other people outside Nigeria can use. Everything that we use is being imported from other countries. So how should we not have a problem of foreign exchange? It's not from the government. It's not government fault. It's we. Even though from one angle, we can relate the problem to the government because of their inability to provide enabling environment and some other, interventions that will allow people to produce goods and services that are going to be exported outside. But actually, the problem lies in our inability to produce, a lot of goods and services to export, so that our export will be higher than our import. And if that happens, the value of, foreign exchange flowing into the country will be higher than its needs. And that will, bring off the value of Naira and bring down the value of dollars. That is what will help us to reduce the gap. So some factors, that, contribute to this, lack of innovation, high poverty incidence, especially in northern part of Nigeria. And then weak purchasing power to support private sector growth because of the high poverty incidence, because of, high inflation, what have you, our purchasing power is very weak. Your purchasing power is your ability to buy, as much as you want goods or services. So if your purchasing power normally is being eroded by high inflation, high prices of goods and services in the country. If the prices of goods and services are very high, you are bound to have very weak purchasing power, and that will affect you in a way that you cannot be able to buy things and good and service that you want. And then low productivity in sectors. Nigeria is an uncultured economy, even though now we are seeing a massive transformation in Nigeria, and hopefully things are going to change in the future. The country is diversifying, into non-oil, sectors and what have you. But before, productivity is mainly in oil sector, and that is not helping the country. From a lack of economic diversification, lack of dynamic policies that will help the company to diversify, country to diversify into other, products or services that will help the country to attract a lot of foreign exchange. And then we have poor governance, corruption, mismanagement, financial crimes and what have you, are very high in the country. And as a result, the cost of doing business and the ease of doing business is very poor in the country. And this is not helping, innovation and creativity in the country and entrepreneurship. That is why we have problems in this area. So technical change and management of innovation. So it is a must for entrepreneurs to manage and respond optimally to technical change and innovation. So as an entrepreneur, you should always be ready to respond to change that may likely, appear in your business environment. You understand? You need to maybe, update your technical knowledge and what have you, so that you respond to the change, effectively. Because your failure to respond to these changes may undermine the basis of their venture existence. Somebody can replace you, somebody can take over your business, and you may become, irrelevant in the marketplace. Because customer taste and fashion, are changing. Your product, if not modified, over time, is going to be forgotten in the marketplace, because people will move to another product that is modified. Is more better than your own. So accordingly, a four-stage processes which are relevant for managing and responding to technical change and innovation, which by its very nature requires change, is stated as follows. Number one, the first, process or what is needed of you as an entrepreneur who is, trying to respond or manage change or innovation, should always be scanning your environment to see if there are any signals for a change. You understand? And then you need to evaluate the opportunity. If there is an opportunity in the environment that will help you to change or to innovate, then you try to evaluate it and see if it is worth, giving attention to. This involves deciding which of these signals to respond to based on strategic view of how the enterprise can best develop, based on your resources at your disposal. And then you resource acquisition. You try to acquire the relevant resources to be able to respond to the need for the change. And then technological and market development. This involves implementing the project, developing both technology and market in order to respond effectively to the need for the change. So finally, champions are needed in all walks of life to exert pressure for innovation in productive sectors and drive policy innovation and cultural change in our country. So with the combined effort of new generation of entrepreneurs and credible leaders, Nigeria will gain its lost glory. And with new efforts, join the league of prosperous nation in the world. So this is all we can take on this module. If there is any question regarding it, you can drop your question at the forum. Inshallah, me or any of the facilitators will respond to it. So thank you for your time.